it seems that everyone is talking about Samurai Jack. And I'll admit, I have been wanting to talk about it too for quite a while now. And some may say I'm a little bit late in this, considering by the time this goes up, 3, possibly even 4 episodes are out by now of Season 5. But I spent that time to think about what I want to do.
Quite a few ideas came to mind. Do I review an episode? If so, which one? Do I make a top 10 of my favorite episodes? Well, then I'd have to rewatch the whole series, which is fine, but then I might not get the video out before Season 5 ends. Though that's still not the realm of possibilities for a future video.
Then something came to mind. With Season 5 coming out, I saw a lot of people talking about the show, but not many people talk about the comics.
Yes, during the 13 years between Seasons 4 and 5, particularly 2013 to 2015, IDW Comics published 20 issues of a Samurai Jack comic. And well, according to Wikipedia, at least Samurai Jack's creator Gendy Tafakowski, sorry if I said that wrong, doesn't consider these comics canon. I still figure I'd take a look at them.
Though we're only going to do the first 5 issues here today because, 1, these 5 issues make a single storyline. 2, if I did all 20 issues in one video, I have no idea how long that would take me to make. And 3, I have never reviewed comics before, so this video is a bit of an experiment. Anyways, let's begin.
First, I should address that every issue begins with a recreation of Aku's narration from the show's intro, which is drawn kinda weirdly, though it's mostly because Aku seems a bit off-model.
Though, considering that Aku is the shape-shifting master of darkness, him being off-model kinda fits.
The first issue begins with Jack walking through the desert, and we see the title of the storyline, Jack and the Threads of Time. He then goes into this cave to meet this old guy. I seek knowledge from Soul the Seer. I am. You are the samurai called Jack, I know. Unfortunately, your search is in vain. Even if I give you the information you desire, the cursed scorpions of the scorching sand would slay you once you left here. Jack then shows him that he already killed the scorpions, and Soul is impressed, and of course in true Samurai Jack fashion, the scorpions were robots.
Because, as we all know, everything that Jack fights is just nuts and bolts.
Soul mentions the Threads of Time and then gives the backstory on them. When the universe was formed, the gods marked time with an artifact known as the Rope of Eons. As it wound itself, so wound forward history. When Aku wanted to understand the sorcery of time travel, he sought out the Rope of Eons and stole it from the heavens. Once he mastered the chronal knowledge within, he shredded the rope so others could not benefit from its existence. But Aku does not know that the fibers left behind by the threads of time still carry time-traveling magic. If you find a single thread, it will pull you towards the others. If you find them all, you can rewind the rope and rewind your place in time.
Okay, so we got a setup for this storyline, and it definitely seems very fitting with the show. And more importantly, it gave us an explanation of how Aku was able to send Jack into the future to begin with. I mean, sure, I don't know if many people ever questioned why Aku could do that. I think we just accepted it was something he could just do. But hey, it's still appreciated.
So Jack goes to find the first thread, which brings him to this underground club run by the spider guy who makes Jack fight in a gladiatorial arena for his amusement. And he brings out his other fighters, including Robabinski, the butt blaster.
What do you have to do to gain the nickname the Butt Blaster? Actually, I think I'd rather not know.
Jack is told to choose his opponent, and his choices.
Eeny, meeny, miny. All of them.
So Jack fights them, and we see that the robot has a machine gun coming out of his ass like he's Astro Boy or something.
Oh, that's why he's called the Butt Blaster. Alrighty then.
Anyways, Jack defeats the fighters and the spy guy says that he'll fight Jack, but Jack rolls Intimidate to make him step down. Jack takes the thread that the spy guy has and leaves, ending issue 1. The second issue begins with a single thread pointing Jack in the direction of more threads, which brings Jack to this village run by these twin bat things named Dis and Dat who talk in sync. My name is Jack. I'm a traveler passing through this area. I mean you and your kind people no harm.
You can't use our roads without paying a tax. A traveler tax, a visitor tax. Shut up and pay up.
These people are terrified of you.
As they should be. We can't keep them safe unless they're afraid. Fear and taxes keep everyone safe.
It's a joke about the police and or the government here.
Jack tries to fight them, but due to the perfect synchronization, they're too much for him.
Which, at first, I thought, wait, shouldn't that be easier? Wouldn't it be like fighting one person instead of two if they were in perfect sync? But asking people who I know who actually know martial arts, according to them, no, it would actually be harder. Granted, I'll admit, I don't remember the reason why they said it would, but that's just what they said. But hey, what do I know? I have about as much fighting experience as a bird fountain. And hey, there's the comic to remind us that Jack isn't invincible.
We see the defeated Jack, and the thread shows him that the reason why the twins are in perfect sync is because they have threads of time weaved into their clothes. Jack then goes back in town to challenge them to a rematch. And Jack immediately slashes between the two, cutting the magical bond connecting the two.
Since when could the sword do that? I mean, yes, I know it was forged by the gods for the purpose of slaying evil, but it never really seemed like it existed on an astral plane or something like the Dragon Slayer or something. And now that I said that, am I the only one who kinda wants this crossover?
So now that they're out of sync, Jack defeats them by cutting off their clothes.
And now this is like 2 steps away from being a totally different comic.
Jack takes the threads that he needs and leaves, ending issue 2. Issue 3 begins with Jack coming across this Greek-looking town, and he tries to talk to the locals, but they seem to be ignoring him. Except for the love child of Marvel's Hercules and Disney's Hercules.
Huh. You think out of all the Greek gods, Zeus would be the one who would take the phrase "go fuck yourself" a little too seriously.
Who introduces himself as
Glower, fuck it, I'm just gonna call them random G names.
The villagers seem to ignore me completely. Of course they do, Jack. I expressly forbid them from interacting with strangers. I see.
Okay, Graveler. When you tell that to your child, you're being responsible. When you tell it to a town full of people, you start sounding like a villain to a teen dystopian novel.
He gives Jack some food and they spar. Afterwards, they continue to talk. My journey is not a random wandering. I have traveled far in search of a precious artifact. I expected as much. What do you seek? A magical golden string called a thread of time. Have you heard of it? No, I have not. Then suddenly bugs. Jack tries to fight them with no help from Great Universe, but he soon gets overwhelmed.
Which, I know earlier I said it's nice to show that Jack isn't invincible every now and again, but these are the Beetle robots. They're pretty much the Goombas of this universe. I don't think Jack should be having this much trouble with them.
Anyways, it turns out that the battle actually happened many years ago and that Gonzo is really a ghost. Those monsters ravaged everything I worked so hard to protect. The numbers overwhelmed us. This is my home, and this thread of time protects me from shameful memories. But Jack assures him that despite the fact that he died, he at least died a hero. Grover Cleveland gives Jack the thread and moves on to the afterlife, ending issue 3. Issue 4 begins with Jack coming across this snow-covered village.
Huh. 3 issues in a row involve Jack coming across a random village and meeting a new character that has a thread of time. First this and that, then George R.R. Martin. So who's it this time?
Well, next is this woman calling herself Queen Crystal the Ageless. She gets mad at Jack for not bowing to her, and the gods overwhelm him, and she sentences him to work in her kitchen.
12 years dungeon. All of you, dungeon. 7 years, no trials.
Where we meet this elderly gentleman. What crime did you commit to merit this culinary punishment?
Crime? Are you kidding? Before Crystal came around, I was mayor. She swept the people off their feet with her beauty, then crushed their spirits with her robotic army.
I must leave here and retrieve my sword and continue my quest. You must reclaim control.
I don't think either of those things are going to happen, Jack.
So the threads of time Deus Ex Machina the lock open and Jack knocks out the gods with a mixer.
Ah yes, the deadliest of all kitchen tools.
So they bake a giant cake and bring it to Queen Crystal.
Blow out the candles and make a wish.
What the? Your wish did not come true.
Oh, actually I think it did. Now, take your robe off slowly for your queen.
Jack cuts off her braid that so happens to be bound with a thread of time, and she rapidly ages. So that old guy is mayor again.
Dude, they let you, the democratically elected leader, get overthrown by some woman just because she was hot. If I were you, I'd be telling this town to fuck off.
Jack leaves, ending issue 4. On to the last part of the storyline, where it turns out between issues Jack collected more threads. How do they convey this?
We're gonna need a montage.
So, may I add that I can't help but be curious on what's the context behind this barbershop quartet panel. Anyways, Jack is heading to find the last thread of time, which is in Naku's fortress of all places. We see a factory making Naku merchandise, including Little Red Riding Hood Naku plushies.
Wait, I would totally want one if they were real, and if I wasn't also broke as shit.
Anyways, we see Aku, and in the past issues, we've seen people use the threads to be in complete synchronization, hold on to their past life, and stay looking young. So what does Aku do with this artifact that can do so many things? He uses it as floss.
Good to know that the evil master of masters still cares about proper dental hygiene.
I have not been bothered by the samurai in months. I wonder what the fool is doing now. Let us see. Show me Samurai Jack. What kind of stupidity is this? Are you broken? Show me Samurai Jack. Show me what he sees. Why would you show me my own chamber? Unless... Prepare for the end, monster. No! So they fight for a few pages, and Jack pulls the thread out of Haku's teeth. The floss was still there. So embarrassing. But why did you...
At last, we are whole once more.
It cannot be!
The rope of eons.
He realizes what Jack intends to do with the rope, so he attacks and... Jesus titty fucking Christ!
I mean, sure, this isn't the most violent thing ever, but it's still Jack, a classic Cartoon Network character. This is kind of like kicking my childhood in the nuts. I mean, what comic? Are you going to waterboard Double D or skin Courage alive while you're at it?
Anyways, the rope stops time to tell Jack that the blow was lethal, and that the rope only has enough magic to do one thing for him, and it gives Jack a choice. He can either go back to his own time, but he'll surely die from his wounds, or he can undo the fatal blow, but then he'll have to go and try to find another way back to the past. Jack chooses the latter. So with the attack undone, Jack escapes, ending issue 5 in this storyline.
So those were the first 5 issues of the Samurai Jack comic, and they're pretty good.
I mean, okay, issue 4 was kinda meh to me, but overall this felt like a long episode of the original show. Hell, if Gendy didn't say otherwise, I would have gladly accepted these comics as canon. Granted, it's been a while since I've read the other 15 issues, so maybe something happens in them that contradicts what happens in Season 5. Though, in the end, canon or not, if you're a fan of Samurai Jack, I recommend these comics.
So now that this is done, I gotta ask, how'd you like my attempt at a comic review? Would you like to see more? Hell, would you like to see me cover the other 15 issues of this comic? Or do you think this is something I should never do again? Either way, I really appreciate the feedback and thank you for humoring this experiment.
We're gonna need a mountain.